Hi there, welcome to Andaaz. Andaaz is an inspirational talk show brought to you from the United States, and we bring you great stories and fabulous guests every single week. Today's episode is all about healing. Did you know that if you live a healthy lifestyle, meditate, and practice yoga, you can cure almost anything from heart disease, diabetes, depression? You can even prevent these diseases from ever taking place. Well, today we talk to experts in this field, Dr. Dean Ornish, Dr. Vad, and His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, and we learn a little bit more about Ayurveda. Let's get started with our first guest, Dr. Dean Ornish. He has actually clinically proven how lifestyle changes can reverse cardiac disease and actually grow your arteries. Let's go check it out.
Reversed your heart disease without surgery.
What surprised me the most was because it takes decades for those blockages to build up, how quickly you can get better.
So what about women and other types of cancer and illnesses?
In this new study, what we found is, as we said, only that hundreds of genes were changed for the better.
You say you've seen results in 7 days.
We found that your blood flow to your brain improves in just a week or two.
Hi, Dr. Ornish. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
Of course. Well, I'm just so delighted to talk to you today because in our community, the Indian community, for some reason, heart disease and diabetes is so prevalent.
Yes.
And I know your lifestyle program actually can reverse diabetes and reverse heart disease.
Correct.
So let's just jump right in. Tell our viewers a little bit about your program.
Well, over the last 35 years, we've conducted research proving for the first time that comprehensive lifestyle changes, what we eat, how we respond to stress, how much exercise we get, and how much love and support we have, can actually not only prevent but actually reverse the most common chronic diseases. When people make big enough changes in their diet and lifestyle, that under their doctor's supervision, they can usually reduce or even get off these medications that they otherwise were told they have to take forever.
Okay, so what is your lifestyle program?
For reversing disease, it takes big changes. That's the pound of cure. So it's essentially a low-fat, whole foods, plant-based or vegetarian diet. We include an hour a day of yoga and meditation for managing stress. We ask people to walk for a half hour a day and to spend more time with the people that they love and care about.
Wow, so so it helps with depression as well, your lifestyle.
Yeah, well, we found,
that's huge.
in my case, it saved my life because I was so depressed and it just completely turned my life around.
I want to get more into surrounding yourself with people you love.
Yes.
Because I don't think people realize how much that affects your health.
People who are lonely and depressed and isolated are 3 to 10 times more likely to get sick and die early.
Oh.
In fact, I don't know any factor, including diet, including anything, that has a more powerful effect on our health and our well-being than the love and intimacy that we share.
I want you to talk to our viewers about meat and
Yes.
eating meat and what it's actually doing to your health.
Well, I grew up in Texas eating meat 3 times a day, and I used to like it, but I gave up eating it when I was 19 because I found that I felt so much better. And you know, there's no point in giving up something that you like unless you get something back that's better and quickly. Well, chicken is better than red meat, but it's still, and fish is better than chicken.
Okay. Yeah.
But the problem with fish is that there are no clean fish out there. Almost in any part of the world, fish are contaminated with, mercury and dioxin and PCBs and stuff like that. But the fish oils that contain the omega-3 fatty acids are really very powerful in terms of protecting your health. So you can take fish oil that's had the bad stuff taken out, or if you're a vegetarian, you can take the either the flaxseed oil or the plankton-based fish oils that provide you the same benefits but are vegetarian-based. Now you also want to try to avoid a lot of refined carbs, the simple carbs, the sugar, white flour, white rice, things like that.
What about dairy? There's a lot of controversy around dairy. What are your thoughts on
Well,
that?
cow's milk is really good for you if you're a calf.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not so good for you if you're a human though.
Yeah.
So it's better to avoid it. If you're going to have dairy, try to minimize it. Try to have the non-fat dairy, which is better. But soy is, I think, a better choice for most people, or almond milk if you don't want soy, because then you get the protein without the problems that you get from milk.
In the many years that you've been doing this, and you've worked with so many people, President Clinton, and the list goes on and on. You're a celebrity.
Thank you.
And I think our viewers want to hear from you just a real life story of somebody's life that you've touched and how it changed, and now how are they living today?
But there's one guy named Mel who 25 years ago, his doctor told him that wouldn't even last the year. He had such bad heart disease. In fact, he was waiting for a heart transplant. His heart was pumping so badly, popping 20 to 30 nitroglycerin pills a day because he was having so much chest pain. And within a month, he was essentially pain-free like most people. And now 25 years later, he's doing great. He's now just turned 80. He's had no pain in 25 years. He's got his life back.
Brought to you by
Jocks, core support shorts, reduce back pain, and get active.
Thank you, Dr. Ornish. I just love your work and wish you all the best in life. Next, we get a tip of the week from innovator Naveen Jain about how innovation in health is going to transform our world. Let's go check it out.
You're going to see some major changes in our healthcare system. In some sense, we are all going to be CEO of our own health. Our genetics, our epigenetics, we're going to start to get personalized medicine. We're going to have plenty of options to be able to monitor what's happening inside our body, what's happening inside our mind, so your mind is no longer a black box. All of those things will be quantified, and the quantified self and becoming the CEO of your own health, where you have your own personalized dashboard, is going to be the future of your health.
Andaaz. Brought to you by Basic Ayurveda, your source for Ayurvedic juices. Piatek Institute, the art of medicine, the science of weight loss. Worried about your neighbors, or who your child is spending time with, or perhaps who your daughter is dating? Get your free Intellius background check from AndaazTV.com. Andaaz. Brought to you by Gehi and Associates, for all your immigration matters. Silk Threads, the name says it all.
Thanks, Naveen. I just love how we're going to have personalized healthcare in the future and be able to use devices to prevent diseases from ever occurring. Ayurveda. We've all heard about Ayurveda. It's an ancient tradition that we can use and apply in our daily lives that helps us heal our mind, our body, and our soul. Well, Isha heads over to Capitola to a beautiful retreat where she talks to an Ayurvedic expert about our different body types and what we can do to live healthier lifestyles. Let's go check it out.
Hi Cynthia, it's a pleasure to have you here in Andaaz.
Thank you very much.
So Ayurveda is essentially a holistic lifestyle where you eat healthy and you live longer and you just are very balanced with your life. And so today with Western medicine, if you have a disease or an illness and a doctor prescribes you medicine, it's not as natural. With Ayurveda, there's 3 different doshas that every individual has within themselves, but then there's 1 or 2 that's more dominant in them. And there's Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So can you describe the differences between these doshas?
Sure. Ayurveda says there are 3 main processes that support life. Process of movement, which is Vata. For movement, you need energy. So Pitta is that which creates energy. And then if you need to store the energy. Also, you need to cool down the heat that Pitta is creating. So that's Kapha. Every cell of the body has all 3 processes in them. So if you have more Vata that you've inherited, it means you tend to be more lean and thin. You tend to move more. You have more movement, more creative. As an imbalance, you might have pain because the nervous system is where Vata shows up to a large extent. If you tend to have more Pitta, which is heat producing, you tend to run hot.
Yeah.
And be more acidic, more sharp. Voice has to be sharp and penetrating. You have a good Pitta voice.
Oh, thank you. I actually took a Deepak Chopra quiz online and found out that I am a Pitta.
Yes. From your voice alone, I could tell that. Yes.
Wow.
Pitta imbalances, if you inherit that by nature, would be inflammatory tendencies. In other words, too many flames, too much fire. Kapha is that dosha which is cooling to the other 2. It's more solid, you're more earthy, slower to move, slower to get agitated.
Yeah.
Pittas can get angry easily. Vatas can get fearful easily.
I get a little angry.
When out of balance, yeah. But kaphas tend to be more compassionate.
There are certain foods that you should eat and there are certain foods that you should stay clear of in order to maintain that balance. So let's go over what you can and cannot eat.
If you're Pitta and you eat Pitta aggravating foods, usually you'll like them.
Of course.
We like those
You're
foods.
going to want to indulge in them.
Yeah, which increase our nature. We like those more. Carrots would be good for Vata. Salty things would be good for Vata, getting the fire going. Cumin seeds would be good for Vata. But for Kapha, sweet things are not good. Sweet increases Kapha, salty increases Kapha. So Kapha people have a slow digestion there. It's not so fiery. If you're feeling kind of sluggish and depressed, it's like, wouldn't some ice cream taste good right now?
Yeah.
And that's kind of a Kapha imbalance.
Oh, wow.
And it doesn't help. Ghee is the best oil for Pitta, but it's also good for all doshas. Sesame oil, olive oil, making sure you have oils in your food is very important for Vata.
So basically 90% of the serotonin in your brain is affected by the foods that you ingest in your body. And I feel like people waste so much money, hundreds and thousands of dollars on medication and therapy when they can just ingest the right foods and become balanced.
I have helped people with panic attacks just through diet and lifestyle.
Depression, anxiety, and whatever other conditions that they might have, if they just eat the right foods, then that will totally disappear.
You remove the causative factors and the person restores balance, comes back to balance.
See, that's amazing. Well, we also have juices here that are from basic Ayurveda. Can you go over some of them and how they're beneficial to us?
Triphala is one of the basic herbal combinations of Ayurveda. It has amla, babytaki, and haritaki. And these three things balance Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So they're very important. And the amla, which is also the gooseberry, is a blood builder. It's really good if you have loose bowels, pitta problems. It's really good for. It's cooling to the system.
Okay. I feel like I could definitely take this every morning. Now this one is actually a wheatgrass shot, which is supposed to be absolutely amazing for you to balance yourself and to digest and have a faster metabolism. So let's see how this tastes. Woo, okay, not bad, not bad. I can definitely do this.
Aloe vera is really good for pitta. It's cooling, it's bitter. Any bitter tonic is always good for the liver and good for pitta. So if there's a tendency to constipation, and again,
really
pitta problems, it's really good.
With Ayurveda, you're balancing your life, but you're also getting more energy. You're able to concentrate more, to lose weight, you have better skin. There's so many positives to Ayurveda.
More passion, more energy, better sleep.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it was great talking to you and learning all about this. I think that I'm going to start incorporating more Ayurveda into my life.
Thank you, Isha. You know, those juices from basic Ayurveda really do make a difference. I take my Triphala shot every morning and I feel energized and great for the day. I highly recommend it. I know a lot of people suffer from pain, especially back pain. Back pain is one of the most common problems that we have here in America, and people think that there isn't a cure. Well, Dr. Vad in New York City has found a cure to back pain that integrates holistic healing and modern medicine. Let's go check out how he does it.
8 years ago, I was exercising and I felt this pain in my back. I went to a chiropractor who said, your disc is so herniated, you need surgery.
I blew my left knee, my ACL, and all the meniscus in it at 29. I have a torn right labrum in my right hip.
I ended up having immediate emergency surgery. The first thing that Dr. Vad said to me was, "Why are you in bed? You need to walk at least a half hour a day."
Hi, I'm here with Dr. Vad, as you all know, the man who cures back pain. So, hi, Dr. Vad, welcome to Andaaz. Great to have you here.
Nice to be here.
Of course. Well, we just heard from your patients, and their stories have just been so inspirational. It's amazing. And I think what really comes out is how you just genuinely care about your patients. I just love that. I have to commend you on that.
Thank you. You know, back pain is a huge issue, and I call it the great equalizer. Whether you're rich or poor, tall or short, when it strikes you, it can really knock you down to your knees. And so if we as healthcare professionals can guide patients to restore their quality of life and minimize medical procedures and narcotics, then we won.
Oh, absolutely. Because I know many physicians out there will say diet, exercise, eat healthy. And they all say that, but then they have their remedies that they give, but you incorporate this into your remedies. So tell us a little bit about that.
The greatest thing about the integrative options, it is so empowering to the patient. The patient feels passive when you're in pain, back pain especially, you're depressed, and you feel like you're so passive and dependent on the healthcare system that these options, these integrative options, can really empower a patient, and I really think they get you on the road to recovery.
And then how did you come up with this method? Because you would typically think, oh, you're in pain, you should rest. That's what everyone is told. Take medicine and rest. Don't move. But you're like, get out there, exercise, eat healthy foods. I mean, live like a healthy person.
The reason I even came up with the idea is when I was in medical training, I went to California to visit my aunt, and she was doing these exercises, and she had battled back pain right after the birth of my cousin. And everybody had told her you need these major surgeries. This was back in India. And a wise yogi said to her, look, if you do these exercises, you can beat this back pain. And lo and behold, she did. And she hasn't missed one day of exercise since my cousin was born.
Wow.
And she stayed pain-free from her back for 30 plus years now. Walking 30 minutes a day keeps the doctor away. And it truly does. Walking
it's not an apple?
And maybe walking and an apple. And last but not the least is really the power of positive thinking. So surround yourself by people who are positive thinkers, and I think that will sort of get you on the road to recovery from back pain.
I have a rebuilt left knee. I have a rebuilt right hip. I have a scoped shoulder. Yet at 48, I'm in the best shape of my life.
There are a lot of major differences in my life now. Everything's different. I cook. I can go to my son's baseball games. I was able to take my daughter on college visits. I was able to do all that.
Andaaz, brought to you by
Jocks, core support shorts. Reduce back pain and get active.
Basic Ayurveda, your source for Ayurvedic juices. Biotech Institute, the art of medicine, the science of weight loss. Worried about your neighbors, or who your child is spending time with, or perhaps who your daughter is dating? Get your free Intellius background check from AndaazTV.com. Andaaz, brought to you by Silk Threads. The name says it all.
Thanks, Dr. Vad. It was just so great to hear from those patients and how you changed their lives. Congratulations to you and your work. And next, we get a weight loss mythbuster of the week from our favorite doctor, Jay Piatek.
Sure, Sarka. One other aspect is sleep in terms of weight loss. There's been multiple studies that show if you don't sleep enough, it messes up your growth hormone and it messes up your cortisol, and it tends to make people fatter. And so you get fatter because the growth hormone drops and cortisol goes up. And so that's a big problem for patients. So we do want them to sleep 6 to 8 hours a night.
Well, thank you, Jay. We just love your tips every single week. Well, we've heard from several experts and doctors about how living a healthy lifestyle, eating healthy, just changing small things in your daily life can actually reverse diabetes, heart disease, and depression. Well, meditation and breathing techniques done from a very, very young age actually have a long-term effect on our health, our state of mind, and how we respond and react to life. Well, we hear from His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar from the Art of Living about just that.
When this recent incident in Connecticut happened, it really tore me apart. I said, we can't anymore just keep quiet. We have to pounce on this idea, creating a violence-free, stress-free society. 100,000 volunteers in Delhi alone participated. It was very encouraging, and the response that we got from the public, from the NGOs, and all like-minded people who want a violence-free society, create an atmosphere of belongingness. We have to come out of the virtual world and in real world connect to people.
In order for kids to not get into violence, they say to stop them from playing video games. But what about movies and TV shows? Are you supposed to stop your kids from all sorts of media that might have something violent?
You know, the virtual world and real world, children get confused a little bit. See, in the virtual world, they shoot with the guns, a ship is coming or someone, they shoot them, they fall, and then they get up again. They come back to life. So it doesn't really strike to them that this is not the same case in the real world. So they get sort of immune to gun culture, gun violence. And what has happened in Connecticut, I figured that it is something like that.
Meditation and eating right helps heal the mind, the body, and the soul. And if that's the case, and if we can reverse disease, and if we can reverse diabetes, heart disease, and everything else, then why aren't doctors prescribing it? And what advice do you have for physicians to take that step?
Prejudice is something that's clogging the world all over. We should come out of the prejudice. In America, we have come out of it in a big way because many doctors do recommend alternative therapy. They are for exercises, yoga, meditation, eating well. Holistic medicine, in fact, originated from America. And even here, there may be some physicians who may not agree with the whole holistic medicine or body-mind medicine. But I'm sure they're moving in that direction. We need to drop this quick. That quick is itself causing stress. Just relax. Take time. Get together, celebrate life, smile and serve.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. You know, I'm definitely inspired to just live a healthier lifestyle, meditate, do yoga, eat healthy. It's better to prevent disease than to try to cure it later on. So remember that. Well, every week here at Andaaz, we have a fabulous find just for you. For those of you that suffer from back pain, we found a product called Jocks. They're actually shorts that you can put on that release hot and cold compression therapy to alleviate your pain and help you live a pain-free life. So you definitely want to check it out. And here's some quick clips.
Great benefit of Jocks cold packs after physical activity is that it reduces inflammation. Thus, it reduces the pain and enhances recovery after activity.
Well, we have another fabulous find for you. Have you ever been curious about who your neighbors are, who your kids are hanging out with, who your daughter is going on a date with? Well, Intellius.com can get you a background check and you don't have to be curious anymore. You can be armed with the right information. So go to our website for details about how you can get your free background check today. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, and I hope you enjoyed the show and feel a little bit more inspired. And we'll see you next week with great guests and more stories. And here at Andaaz, we love supporting the community. And we're going to take a look at the winner of a competition we had with Genius Kids. Let's go take a look.
Brought to you by Lawson Travel. Experience the world with us. Andaaz. Brought to you by Unirello. Global excellence delivered to your doorstep.